Livable Streets Bow is the £5 million project being delivered by Tower Hamlets Council and Transport for London. They say it will reduce traffic and improve air pollution in London's neighbourhoods. The project is being managed for Tower Hamlets Council by Project Centre. Now, as taxi drivers, we are given the unique opportunity to talk to our passengers and fully understand the issues that concern them on a local level. Indeed, as taxi drivers ourselves, we are also affected by policies implemented by the local authorities, and one of the biggest grievances seems to be the potential road closures in the Bow area. The scheme effectively threatens to divide Bow East from Bow West by using arbitrary traffic barriers and bus gates. Business owners are rightly worried about being isolated by such restrictions, given the increased journey times that suppliers and customers will have to take, and not to mention the inconvenience caused to those with mobility or sensory impairments. And it is with that we took it upon ourselves to talk to traders, residents and local businesses and see how they feel about the proposals.
Well, I've lived in this area my whole life. My wife's lived there her whole life. Her family all come from around here. They all still live in the area, and getting to them now is going to be a nightmare. My wife's nan, who lives in Donnybrook Court at the top of Old Ford Road, she's 86 years old. She can't get about too much. She relies on me to be able to get to her, to pick her up, to take her out. My wife's sister also lives in the area. She relies on my vehicle. My own mum lives there, she's disabled. She relies on me to be able to get to her, to take her about where she needs to go. If these restrictions come in, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Well, I think it's going to affect many people, not just me, especially people who have disabilities. And when I say disabilities, I don't mean necessarily people that can't walk or are blind. There's other disabilities, you know, not all disabilities are visible. And I need my car to get to A to B. Without it, I'm a prisoner in my own home. And I just feel, at the moment, the way the restrictions are, it's just going to get terrible and I won't be able to go out my ass.
If you live in the area, you've only got to walk out your door and see what's happening in Roman Road and Bethnal Green. It's tailback all the way. And we're talking about probably a fifth of the traffic at the minute due to the lockdown. So God knows what it's going to be like when everyone comes back out. It's going to be a disaster. I think what could have been a 5-minute journey will now be an half-an-hour journey.
Just recently, I mean, with all the closures of the park, it meant you couldn't go into the park, and that was bad enough. And I just feel really, really upset that they're bringing these restrictions in without first consulting us, and they say they've been doing this for over a year now. They've been looking into it. And when they closed it before, Trellegar Road, the chaos in this area, the traffic, the build-up was horrendous. I mean, literally horrendous. You couldn't go nowhere. And it caused more pollution, I believe, than it would normally.
Have a negative impact which will be detrimental to the residents and the commerce which is conducted in the area. Even just getting here now from work, they're taking the number 8 bus from Bethnal Green Station. I had to get off and walk for the majority of the journey because the roads are in gridlock. So I don't see how this is going to be a sustainable scheme, which is not going to have detrimental impact on not only the Borough of Bow but surrounding areas if there's no chance of traffic moving.
So what, it's 1:45, it's not rush hour, and we're stuck in gridlock traffic. And this is during the coronavirus when there's probably only a fifth of the traffic out on the road. It's going to get terrible. You're not going to be able to move.
And whilst I'm against the scheme, I'm all for anything which is ecologically friendly and reduces pollution, but it must be thought out and the residents consulted, and it must be researched before it's put into practice.
I've traded here for a couple of generations, and some of my family have been here. The change to the market is incredible, and it hasn't been helped at all by misguided plans of cutting off major routes, and that's for bikes, cars, lorries, commercial vehicles that the East End has to thrive on to make a living. And they've got this utopian thing in their head where they think they can turn it into some sort of, artist's impression of a closed off street with no one in it, with little shrubs in, and a couple of little stripy top stalls, maybe selling curries or burgers, and that's supposed to be cool.
It's a problem because none of us were consulted. None of us were sent letters. I've been here for 5 years now. Not once have I seen a council member or anyone from the council come and approach us and ask us how they're developing the area, how they're stopping roads, closing off roads. So it's really quite devastating, actually, not to be involved when we're paying our taxes and we're not getting any services back, any kind of information. No letters through the post, no posters, nothing.
85% of my clients all drive. Again, they come with their own equipment, speakers, their sound cards and stuff like that. So they wouldn't really be able to travel on trains. So it would have a major effect on me.
Do you think you're not being listened to by the council?
Yes, in fact, before lockdown, I had a meeting with the council asking them that local markets are dying out, such as Roman Road Market, and what are the alternatives, what can they do to promote the market. And I had a meeting with about 5 members of staff, and not once did they mention that they were proposing to have these road closures and to expand pavements and footpaths and add plants and flowers and gentrify the area. I'm so for being eco-friendly. I love all of that, but it is affecting the local community in and around Tower Hamlets, and none of us have been advised, none of us have been told anything, and we're just in the dark about it all.
It's affecting me greatly. From a business point, I don't know how much longer we can go on like it. Keep closing, you're closing off our work, you know. If we were fishermen and you drained our lakes, it's the same principle. It's me double whammy this time, because it's affecting not only my livelihood but my family life. I just don't know what to do anymore.
In this market, there was, up to 5 years ago, over 250 families just on the stalls alone who fed their families from working hard. And there's also a great element of people that love to come to markets, midweek and weekends, that are moaning to us because why haven't we got this, why can't we park there, why can't they park there? Basically, the borough doesn't want markets.
If you don't agree, we can talk to you about it.